A drunk with a ragged look came in to apply for the position. The owner of the winery was looking for a way to send him away. He gave him a glass to drink. The drunk tried it and said, "It's a Moscato, 3 years old, grown on a northern slope, matured in steel containers, low grade, but acceptable." "That's correct," said the owner. He handed him another glass of wine. The drunk said, "This is a Cabernet, 8 years old, grapes grown on a southwestern slope, oak barrels, and matured at 8 degrees. It requires about 3 more years to optimize its taste." "Correct," the owner said. He gave him a third glass. "This is a Pinot Blanc champagne, high grade and very exclusive." The owner was very astonished. He winked at his secretary secretly, suggesting something. She left the room and she came back with a glass of urine. The drunkard tasted it and said, "It's a blonde, 26 years old, 3 months pregnant, and if I don't get the job, I'll name the father." "I told my last girlfriend that she's the only one that I ever loved. All the rest were 10s. Stirring the coffee with the K-Bar tactical chopsticks using the vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee at the molecular level. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. We'll get started, but first, well, what is this today? The last of Air Capital from the Roastery Coffee Company, I believe in Kansas City. A smooth, clean, mild flavor with a deep, fruity, and bold finish. Thank you, sir, my Kansas City aeronautical friend. Nice.
Nice. My God, that is the best coffee I've ever tasted.
3, 2, 1. I love this meme where a wife is saying to her husband, "I heard you shouting at the TV last night, saying, 'Don't go in the church, you idiot.' Were you watching a horror movie?" The husband says, "No, our wedding video." That's pretty funny. The cashier scans condoms. Says, "Sir, do you need a bag?" The guy says, "No, she isn't that ugly." Don't forget that time is running out to buy that perfect pre-owned motorcycle in about 1.5 to 2 months. Every guy who wants to sell a motorcycle will think they can get more for that thing in the garage. So buy one now while it's cold out, and while his wife is saying you're not getting a new motorcycle until you sell the one that you already have. Needless to say, he's very motivated to sell. So this is what you do. You show up with cash in hand, all 100s. You make your offer and be willing to walk away from the deal. Thank me later. As I've been listening to men for over 40 years, one of the conclusions I come to is that women can be cold as ice. And men are not equipped to deal with it when they encounter it. She threw you away like a piece of garbage, and you're pissed. Not that she took any stuff, or that you owe her half your shit, but it's because she wasted your time. You can get money and shit back, but you can't get back time. Your anger is justified, sir. Don't let anyone shame you for being angry at what happened. Now, if you're angry for 10 years, there could be a problem. But your anger, your cynicism, and your disgust is absolutely justified. Just don't let it rule your life. You can always get back resources, but you can't get back time. That's one thing. Do not spend time with people who waste your time. When it comes to divorce and breakups, it's hard to tell who's going to waste your time. Even the most seemingly loyal women can be the biggest time wasters. Here's an interesting observation that I've made over the years. Whoever says, "How can I be of service to you?" wins. Whoever says that first wins. In a relationship, how can I be of service to you? Try practicing that. Try initiating that first in all your relationships. How can I be of service to you? It's a very powerful move. It's almost like 4D chess. Your heart's got to be in it, though. I mean, people can spot phonies a mile away. But learn how to mean that. How can you be of service to people? What can I do for you? Is a great question. How can I help you? I had a talk yesterday with someone, and he beat me to it. How can I be of service to you? And I'm like, darn, he asked me that before I had a chance to ask him. And he understands the model of helping other people first. It's that Zig Ziglar thing. If you help enough people get what they want in life, you will very easily get what you want. Churches are emergency shelters for 304s. Okay, cool. But the delusion is thinking that a man will find something different in church than he does outside the church. The town bicycles usually end up hiding behind the true human shields, the true good people, the few virtuous ones, the few virtuous women or widows. They hide behind them, but with full backing and immunity from the pastor. The only place where a woman with a crappy past can go and the pastor waves the magic Jesus wand, and I say that jokingly. When I say the magic Jesus wand, I say that with a small J, not a capital J, not referring to our Lord and Savior. But people thinking that just going to church is going to make everything better. Sure, God can forgive. You can forgive. You don't have to forget, though. Take into consideration, as I heard Rich Cooper say, you can take a car and roll back the miles all you want, but it's still a 200,000-mile car. Christian men, let me ask you a question. How can a Christian woman crush your soul so much? You know why? Because you have higher expectations for her behavior. And when she acts no different than a worldly 304, you just say, screw it. And you chalk up a few more wasted years. Biggest task that I've had working with men for over 4 decades, helping them let go. It's the hardest thing to do. In the past 100 years, men went from valuing fertility to valuing sexual utility in a woman. We went from, will she make a good mother, evidenced by hip-to-waist ratio, a nurturing, calming spirit. We went from that to this. Will she be good in bed? Will she give a good beej, as evidenced by hotness, overt sexuality, and hoe vibes? If she doesn't bring a fertile, fruitful womb to the table and only relies on appearance, albeit a declining appearance, then all they have is utility. Women brought this on themselves. Transformed Wife, who I've been quoting a lot lately, says adultery and divorce have skyrocketed since women left their home for the workforce. Instead of being their husband's helpmate and in regular contact with them, they are their boss's helpmate and in regular contact with their boss and other men at work. Attraction and adultery can too easily happen with daily contact with members of the opposite sex. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. 80% of all affairs start in the workplace. I stumbled upon this Martin guitar in Facebook Marketplace. Man, I like that. Cutaway, acoustic electric, simple. I kind of like that matte finish. I don't want a shiny guitar. I love the grain on it. I'm betting it sounds beautiful. It is made in Mexico. It's not made in Nazareth, Pennsylvania, but it's a Martin, and the standards are pretty high. What guitar do you think is a great guitar, a great sounding guitar? My last guitar, I had an acoustic electric Tacoma. Did you ever hear of a Tacoma guitar? Probably one of the prettiest guitars I've ever had in my life. Beautiful. I wrote a lot of music with that. I'm looking for another guitar right now. If you have a guitar, an acoustic electric guitar that you're not using, and you want it to be put to good use, send it to me. I'll find a use for it. If you do that, I'll write a song specifically for you and your situation. You want to make more money? You want to get more out of life, but you only work 5 days a week? Then be like God. Ephesians 5:1, be imitators of God. He worked 6 days and rested 1 day a week. Why are you taking off twice as many days as God did? Here's a question for you. How far do you go to advise, counsel, and warn a friend who seems hell-bent on marrying a woman who you see as trouble? Do you let him make the mistake? Do you risk the friendship because you see things that he can't do to his blind spots? How far do you go? Put your answer down below. I asked this question earlier in the week. Here's a great quote from Nietzsche. Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth because they don't want their illusions destroyed. Right? Sometimes you're afraid of people's answers. That's why you don't like asking a lot of questions, because you're afraid that an answer might offend you or that you have to be accountable. You walk around with your hands over your ears, not looking for solutions. You stay living in your comforting lies and not with the uncomfortable truth. A quick reminder that a faithful mid is always better than an unfaithful 8, 9, or 10. Been there, done that. There's a company, the awesomer.com. They will make a custom Hot Wheels car out of your car. Send them a picture of your car and they will make a Hot Wheels car exactly like your car. I think that's pretty darn cool, if you ask me. Was anyone here ever into Hot Wheels? Remember the 2 tracks coming down? You press this button and then this gate would kind of flip up and then the 2 cars would go down this track. And then the winner, like a little flag would go up. I always thought that was fun. Me and my brothers had Hot Wheels, and we had several types of things. Like we had train sets and slot cars and Hot Wheels. Man, that was a lot of fun. I don't know. Are kids doing that anymore these days? Have you bought your children Hot Wheels? I actually had a box. It was like a little mini briefcase, and you open it up and it had like little slots in it where you put all your Hot Wheels cars, all your favorites in there. That was kind of fun. Dating sites are nothing but online auto auctions where people go to the highest bidder. That's pretty much what it is. Do you have attractive pictures on dating sites? Do you have a compelling profile narrative? And do you communicate success and alpha and lifestyle? Who gives a shit? Dating sites are nothing but the returns department. Regarding television, we used to say, just turn it off. Turn off the news. You heard me say for 8 years now, turn off the news. Then we had a generation that said, I don't watch TV. Okay, little virtue signaling there. Yeah, but you watch a 5-inch screen in your hand for hours every single day. But I don't watch TV. Okay. And the stuff you're watching is 100 times worse than what is on television. I love this phrase by Jim Rohn. Asking is the beginning of receiving, and success is a giant ocean. But you have to show up. Most people show up with a teaspoon when they don't realize that they can have a bucket. You really can get whatever you want in life. You really can. There's no reason why you can't. I am hoping within 18 to 24 months to be a member of Hampton at joinhampton.com, a very elite group of business owners. Forget everything else. Hampton is where the winners are. You heard me say this within the past week or so from Samuel Risby, who has the Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok and Twitter platforms, the Sultan of Savage. He took me seriously when I said to repurpose my content, put your affiliate links on it, and you make the money without showing your face, speaking your voice. Can you make money using other people's material? Of course you can. He says, when I started making shorts of George Bruno, I could have talked myself out of it. I could have said, I don't have enough experience. I'm only 19. What do I know? But I didn't. I've been watching George for almost 6 years now. He's been watching me since he was like 13. Holy cow. Now he's a young man. And I know more than the man who just went through a breakup or the one who just got served divorce papers today. Everyone is a student. Everyone is a teacher. No matter how long you've been going through a breakup or divorce, you have valuable insights to share for the person going through it now. Don't let fear or self-doubt hold you back from taking risks and put yourself out there. Now, the last time I talked about him on this channel, he had about 131,000 subscribers. That was about a week ago. Followers on Instagram. As of right now, 159,000 followers. 838 posts. He's doing the work. He's making the money. He grew 30,000 followers in a week. And you thought, this can't be done. Made beef jerky this past weekend. Enough for about 3 days worth of meals. And I also dried some thin-sliced ribeyes. 2 of those and a bottle of water, and I'm satisfied. It's a meal. It's great. And the weight is coming off. I have a certain weight goal by the beginning of summer. Actually, hopefully by the beginning of spring, the first day of spring, March 20th. But we'll see if I get there. And this is going to help me do that. And ladies, show your man some appreciation today. 2 things. Make him a steak. And number 2, compliment something. It's not that hard. We will conquer armies and mountains because of one of your compliments. You know, I'm a huge fan of divorce. Not initiating it. If you've already decided to get divorced, I say do it fast, because most of the damage done to men is done in the divorce process. One of my critics says, don't we have enough divorce? You really think that this has improved our civilization? Dude, you are Italian and unmarried, and as far as I can see, childless. So this all seems like trying to project your own situation onto others, rather than advising on what the best thing in life to do is. This is not Christian. Come on, Picasso, have some kids while you still can.
Oh, look at me, Layton. I'm standing on the football. Whoa, whoa. You caught me. I know I got you.
Think before you press send. And with that, finish your coffee, and I'll see you on the next Daybreak Show, your home of sanity, clarity, and reason. And there will be no begging. Don't ever bring a whore around, I tell my friends, because I'll fall in love with her. Charles Bukowski.
The amazing George Bruno.
And I cruise down the street like a free rider. New shoes on my feet like a free rider. And I move to the beat like a free rider. And I scoot through the week like a free rider. And I scoot through the week like a free rider. Got my new shoes on my feet like a free rider. And I move to the beat like a free rider. Yeah, and I scoot through the week like a free rider. Like a free rider. Like a free rider. Like a free rider. Like a free rider.